And we are back live. I'm sorry about that, guys. We had a little bit of audio issues right there. For some reason, Streamlabs froze up and I couldn't get the audio to come back and work. So I had to restart it. I'm sorry about that, guys. We had a good setup right here on TLRY, and that's right when it started to go out, when I was talking about it, right up in this area. So this was a good buy from 9 for that push up to high of day at 950. Wasn't able to concentrate and focus on it. Bummer we wasn't able to catch that. But that's alright. Very, very nice play on TLRY. Very nice. It's up way too much right now. I'd wait for it to pull back down to support at that 9 to maybe even think about it, but that was a good, right here, would have been good. Good play on TLRY. I've already took a loss on TLRY, so I'm done with it. APVO now. Now this is at support at 2250. This could be a good bounce play up to 2350. Nice little dollar bounce on it. If it breaks below that 2250, sell it for a loss. But I've taken only two trades. I traded TLRY, lost $600, and I traded APVO and made almost 4,000, or actually over 4,000. I'm sorry, but I'm up on the day $3,754. See, look at right there, 2350 pops right up to 23. It'll probably pop right back up to 2350. That's where I'd be keeping an eye on the tape, looking for consistent buyers to come in, having them attack it. But you gotta, thing with trading, you have to stick to your rules and you gotta have that discipline to cut it if it's a loser. That's what I did right here on TLRY. This morning, it was starting to curl up right here. To get my marker. It was starting to curl up right here. And I was looking, I had the right idea. From $9, I was looking for that surge back up to the high of day at 950. My timing was just off on it. I got in, and as soon as it dropped below that $9, I cut it for a loss. Didn't even think about it. I'm not holding and hoping. That's not a strategy. I want to try to keep my loss as minimal as possible. I cut it and move on. The stock comes down, U-shapes back, holds that area again, nice consolidation, and pops up to the high of day. This was a shakeout down here. And then real quickly, back to APVO. What'd I say? Good bounce opportunity at 2250. It'll probably bounce up to 2350. It bounced up to 2350. A quick scalp opportunity. That's all that was right here. That's it. I wish I got in on that bounce right there, but I'm up good on the day. I want to protect those profits now. That's my goal. Let's go back to TLRY. Let this come back down. It just sat up there at that high of day. Let it bounce at this 9 again, and then start to build up for that push up over 950 and just go wild. You always want to try to think of stocks. You want to have them move in stages. You don't want stocks to just rip up, break through it, and just keep going nonstop. They're going to want to take a break, reset, retest, reset, retest, build up for that push. Think of stocks like people. Let's take a look at TLRY daily real quick. You could see right here also, just like we mentioned out yesterday in the live stream on HOFV. HOFV opened up right at that 50-day moving average and it surged up. TLRY, that red line right here, that's the 200-day moving average. Look at that bottom wick. It came down and it pinpricked it, bounced right off of it at that 850 and right back up. So TLRY is going to have resistance here on the daily at $9.50, $10 because that's a big mental level, and $11. And then if it can get above 11, see, look at that too. If I switch over to the weekly, that 50-day moving average is right at $10. So this will possibly top out at $10. But if it gets over 10, this could easily run. 1450 I see on the weekly. Yeah, 1450 I see. This is the monthly. See, from this too, you could draw a big trend line from the top right here, connecting all of these lows. See how it just goes down like that? Now the candle was finally able to push up over it. The thing I don't like with Street Smart Edge though is the trend lines don't convert over the other charts and other time frames. But TLRY, it has a lot of room to run. But that first area it's going to find as resistance is 10. But if it can get up over 10, look out. Everybody remembers TLRY. Everybody remembers TLRY. TLRY is that stock that ran back in, what was it, 2018, 2019? It was a penny stock and it ran all the way up to like $200, $300. Looks like we got a beginning of an inverse head and shoulders. There's your shoulder, there's your head. Now I'd look for this to come back down and form that other shoulder. For inverse head and shoulders is bullish. And then your neckline is right here at 950. But then again, that's your shoulder. That could be a shoulder right there, and that's your head. See what happens. APBO all day, good scalp opportunities off that 2350 or 2250, I'm sorry. U1 looks like it faded out. KNDI testing that mental $10 level. That's funny. The first live stream we did last week, I made $2,000 profit. Now this live stream, I've made $4,000 profit. We've been doubling it every live stream. Let's keep the streak going. Next week, hopefully 6,000. Yeah, KNDI, that $10. Anytime a stock pops up to 10, it's gonna be a big mental level to get through. APVO, nice pop. Right off that 2250. But it's pushing up on light volume, so just be cautious. APVO, the volume on the day is 1.5 million. And it's Friday, guys. Remember, every minute that goes by, we lose volume. I don't know why the chat ain't popping up right here. It should be popping up like it did yesterday. But post in the comments on YouTube, guys. You make profit today, how much you guys make? Let's get it out there. This morning wasn't really the cleanest, but if you were patient and waited, you got rewarded. ALTM, look at that. Nice explosion up to 30. And it's still going. Testing that previous day's close. This is the type of stuff you want to look for. Look at that. U-shape. U-shape. You want U-shapes are bullish in the stock market. This U-shape right here, this was resistance. It was holding as support right there with that U-shape. Now, if this pulls back down, look for that 2850s to hold as support. ALTM, APVO, good pops. KNDI, nice death grind. TLRY, grinding up to that mental $10. And Sava is still hanging around also. Don't forget about Sava. Sava was the hot stock from Wednesday, running from 9-ish all the way up to 1250. Everybody forgot about this, and it's still hanging around. Always keep tabs of recent runners. Always. If they do an offering, just write it off. It's not even worth watching. But if they don't do an offering, keep it on tabs. But the trigger level for this is that $11. If it can break over 11, then that area up here, this most definitely has room to run up to that 11.50. So a nice 50-cent range it has on it. If it'll go. I'm just saying keep tabs on it. I was watching this stock yesterday, but it just never picked up and lifted up over that 11. You could see multiple times it got close at this 11 breakup here. It kept perking up, pull back, perking up, pull back, perking up, pull back, and then just went stale into the close. Wow, look at Kern. Nice pop on Kern. Let's see. ONCT has been hanging around also. It's just sitting. Look at that 10-minute right here. It's just sitting right at that 13 EMA. We have a big wedge forming on this. Right at that mental $4. This is pushing up, making higher lows. Got a nice wedge, ascending wedge forming on it. Big picture, guys. Always try to keep in mind the big picture. If you could keep in mind the big picture, like the 10-minute, and you're looking for your entries and exits on the 1-minute, if you just keep that big picture in your mind, you'll find it a lot more easier to hold on to trades. You'll get comfortable with pullbacks because you see the big picture on a bigger time frame. If you're just focusing on the 1-minute, you're only hurting yourself. But keep an eye on ONCT. It's a super low float stock. Momentum could come into it at any moment. Volume's been slowly retracing on it here on the 10-minute. Even right here. If it from 350 up to 4, you could get in right now, have a really, really tight stop. If it doesn't work out, you're going to lose what? Maybe 10 cents. And then if it pushes up to $4, you're up 50 cents a share. You can take some off and then test the rest if it breaks over 4. And then that's a home run trade if it goes up over 4 to $4.50, $5. You want to try to think ahead as a trader. You want to think ahead before everybody else. And if you think ahead and put it together before everybody else, that's how you get rewarded. But if it breaks below this 1350s here, it's going down to that 325 area down here. Let me go back to APVO real quick. APVO still holding that 2250s level. TLRY pushing up over that $10. APVO. See, it pushed up. It might get one more little pop up to 23.25. It's got a wedge forming on it right here. We'll see what happens with that. I'll keep tabs on it. ALTM, very, very light volume. It's still hanging around though. If it can hold up at this 2850s right here, it could push up and off. But you guys notice with me though too, I'm not paying attention and focusing on what everybody else is trading. Everybody's probably focused on Mogo. It's got 50 million in volume and it hasn't done anything. It's starting to base out here at this $2. And TLRY. all has attention. But I'm paying attention to the other stocks like APVO, ALTM, ONCT. You know, ONCT, I want to say real quick, this has a history of yesterday having just those big surge candles up. Keep an eye on ONCT. See, if we zoom in from yesterday, just look at all those big, juicy green candles. Like, and it just happens. That's what we could see with ONCT. From one moment you'll look and it's at 360 and you'll blink and it's at $4. That 10-minute on ONCT looks pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. And even with it being up like this as it is, the risk versus reward on ONCT is still relatively good. I'm being quiet because I'm looking at the charts. I'm debating on whether or not I want to pick up just a little small position here on ONCT. A lot of pot stocks been popping off. A lot of pot stocks. What was that other one? ACB been popping off too. It's a nice ramp on it from 9 up to 12. That's not my style of trading though. I don't really like trading stocks like that. I call that a death grind. For me, I don't have the patience to hold on to something from 10 o'clock, an hour, just straight grinding like that. I'm more of a fast-paced type of trader, making split decisions, playing off of people's emotions. Let me go over to APVO. Starting to putter out a little bit. If it can break back over that 23, it's still in play. If it breaks down below 2250, it's over. I'm not in anything. I'm just watching. I'm protecting my profits. Just to show you guys. I'm not in anything. If I do trade something, it's potential little wallet patterns. I want to protect my profit. KERN's really popping off. ONCT still hanging around also. See an ALTM? Switch over to that real quick. Bounced right off that 28.50, right back up to 30. Because it was all resistance right here at 28.50s. Right here. Pops up. Trying to keep an eye on this APVO as it just popped up to 23.25. But comes down, bounces right off of that 28.50 right back up to high of day. APVO, you're going to have to hold on to it for that bigger move. Break over 24 if it goes. This was a big mover yesterday. ONCT falling down a little bit. ALTM, new high of day, break over that previous day's close. I want APVO to pull back for me. Come on, APVO. I'm liking the way that this is setting up for APVO. Wow, TLRY ramping up over 10 to almost 11. Good move. Let APVO pull back a little bit. TLRY, good ramp and break up over that 10. ALTM from 28.50. That's a $4 move up to 31.50. Boom. And if you were to pick up 200 shares of that, a small 200 shares, and it ripped $4 up, that's $800 profit. This is the type of stuff that I'm talking about. But ideally, though, you want to try to trade stocks that are more liquid and it's got volume in on it. Because if you trade late volume stocks, ALTM just had a flush down. This is what could happen. You know, and if you trade too big of a size, from 31.50 flushes down to 29.50. You gotta be cautious of stuff like that. Still interested in this APVO. I just like how this wedge is forming right here. For that pop up to 24 and break over 24, this could have a nice run on it. Up to 25 would be a good mental level. It'll pop to. Yeah, 25 bucks. DLRY still going. Wow, KERN, nice ramp push from 340 up to 4. See, and we're keeping that bigger picture in mind with APVO. Look at that 10 minute. It was just riding that 13 EMA and it's pushing up to that 25 bucks. There's that 24 bucks. Is it going to blow through 24? There's that 24 break pushing up to 24.20. $24.20. Keeps testing it. I want to see that tape flutter and fly. Buyers come in, push for that demand. Good push on APVO so far. 24.30. $24.50. She's going to 25. That's what I'm talking about, guys. That's what I'm talking about. If you traded APVO on this push here, awesome. Yeah, all these pot stocks are popping off, but I'm keeping an eye and I'm playing the stocks that were hot yesterday. Look at this. From 22.50 up to 24.50, a $2 push. A $2 push, and you got a stock here from $7 up to $8, a $1 push, but it took over an hour to push up to that. Again, like I said, those are death grinds. I don't like trading and playing death grinds like that. And for me, what I've noticed with pot stocks are very, very erratic and random. They're very hard to trade. Like, I've tried trading it right here this morning and I got screwed. And it shook out people and it came back and it ramped up. I haven't been keeping up with the news with pot stocks, but I heard that 3 other states got approved to legalize marijuana, from what I heard. ONCT still hanging around. I'm telling you guys, I'd keep an eye on it. All day yesterday, as we pointed out, had just all of these big, huge, just random surge candles up. One here from 220 up to 272. One here from $3 up to 370. 340 up to $4. So this on average has a surge, I would say, of about 60-70 cents. So from this level right here, it'll surge up 40 cents to 4, push over 4 to 420. It's been holding up pretty well, and if it keeps lingering around, holding up, that push, that trigger level is going to be 370. That's where it'll get that big boom blast up. ONCT. And again, like I've stated many times throughout this video, I don't really care, and I'm not paying attention to what everybody and their mother is trading and looking at. I'm looking at and trading what I want to trade. And you could see with APVO, they're effortless trades. This is where the smart money is. U-shape, 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 pulls back 2250 and VWAP support. 2250 up to 2350, 2250 up to 2450. Many opportunities. ALTM. Light volume, yeah. But if you know how to read charts, 2850 was resistance all right there. Finally surged up over it. Found resistance at the previous day's close. That's what that dotted line is. Slowly pulled back. Bounced at old resistance. 2850 popped right back up. Broke over that high of day and the previous day's close. And then slammed back down. Yeah, something's going on with ONCT here, guys. GoPro could have a nice surge up over that VWAP if it holds up. Draw a big trend line on this prawn here, connecting all the lower highs, or higher lows, I'm sorry. If it flushes, it'll flush down to like the 775, 760 area. Yeah, I'm not even interested in these pot stocks. Here goes ONCT starting to try to perk up a little bit. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to pick up 1,500 shares on ONCT for that big push up to 4. If it falls down below 350s, I'll cut it. Let's see.